What's up, y'all? It's your boy Survival. We're back in here. I'm the founder of Summerfest, obviously, which is hands down the best community variety festival in the galaxy. Maybe many galaxies. We don't know. I've never traveled to parallel galaxies. Anyway, I'm going to say we're the best in this or any other galaxy. And we're back with another episode of Fest Friends to talk to participants of past and hopefully future Summerfest events. I'm here with a visionary and an artist that I've known for a very long time. Actually, I think we met back in for me, I think it was '95 because
Yeah,
we were at school together. I want to introduce everyone to a prolific artist and just great dude overall, Colgan Johnson. How are
what's
you,
up, man?
Colgan? What's going on?
I'm awesome, man. I'm very humbled by your words, and thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this.
Yeah, of course. And in doing so, you were pretty enthusiastic to get on, and there's a lot of things that I want to ask you about, particularly with relation to your art, and we're going to weave in some of the Summerfest talks to remind the audience or let some of the new members of the audience know how you were involved. So can you let the audience know like what type of art that you do, just to kind of familiarize themselves?
Yeah, man. I started kind of rapping. I still rap. I love rap, man. Your rap is amazing, by the way. Your songs are incredible. Uh,
Appreciate it.
do a little acting, and now it's really photography and videography. I'm really in love with capturing other people's passion, showing it, showcasing it, and just having that community of artists, but being able to help somebody else with their vision, it's amazing right now.
That's awesome. And so I had been following you throughout your journey, mostly on Twitter. When I started rapping, it was yourself. It was Ivan, who is another friend and classmate. Shout out
Yeah.
Ivan.
Oh yeah.
And so you guys had formed, like a little business, but also
Yes.
a group.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about JP Lime Productions?
I definitely can, man. JP Line Productions was I guess, the birth of all this creativity, man. Two awesome friends of mine, Chris Everson, Ivan DeJesus from high school, as you mentioned. Um, Passion for music, right? And it all started as a hope for like a productions company, man. We love just all types of art. So we made 3 albums in total over the span of like maybe 7 to 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it was honestly, man, some of the dopest times of my life, our lives, and the love we get now for doing that music is really. I keep using the word humbling, but it is, man. Like when you put something out in the world and it comes back like that, it's crazy. Like that's dope.
Yeah,
To
for
hear you
sure.
say that, that's amazing.
I totally agree. I totally agree. And fast forward to 2018, like the beginning of 2018, I had this idea to do a festival myself, an outdoor festival. And, I'm like scrambling to, get in touch with people and creatives. You got to come and maybe you want to be involved and so on and so forth. Sort of a, a real hackneyed attempt at like, trying to cobble together something that I thought could be great. And so I reached out and I was like, "Hey, you should come check out this festival." And you came, and it happened. It was, in my estimation, like fairly successful. It had some hiccups, and there were a lot of things that I take from it as a learning experience. Fast forward to 2019, we had a much different situation. The locale was different. There were a lot of things that were baked in that.
You leveled up
That
so much in a year. I'm sorry.
yeah. Oh my goodness. It was just like
I'm happy
it
about
was like it all like coalesce.
that. Yeah.
And for a year seems like a long time, and it just came together. And what I like to do is to take a lot of steps forward. And one of those steps that I wanted to take was capturing Summerfest from a visual vantage point. And so I reached out and I asked you to do that, and you obliged. So why did you do that? Why did you take the chance on Summerfest? And how was your experience?
All right, so let's go back to that first year when you called me up and you're like, "Yo, I'm throwing this joint outside. I got trucks, I got people, comedians, bands." I was like, "Who does not want to do that, yo?" Right? And then you were doing it in Somerville, which honestly to me is one of the artsiest, coolest, like dopest vibe melting parts of the city, right? And so, but your enthusiasm and your passion for the project was amazing, right? But you have an eye for talent. Like you picked some awesome people. Like whether or not they're your friends or acquaintances, however you do it, you surround yourself with cool people. So it wasn't like I was like, oh yeah, let me just do this for a buddy. Don't get me wrong, I would, but like you bring acts that people want to see. Like the vibe there was amazing. And let me speak on that real quick. Like the art you have, like your eye for art is dope. Your eye for art's amazing. But like the people that come to your events, like the energy is incredible. The first year was definitely dope, but the second year, right, when you were at Bow Market, like man, the whole day I was doing videography for you, but I was having goosebumps because everybody was happy. Like you don't see that all the time. Like I was happy for you. Everybody you brought there was happy. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. So Summerfest 2019 happened. It's in the books. Yeah, click, 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 that's locked up. And a lot of things have been happening in my life. Since that day, July 19th, 2019. Had a baby. We bought a house. We moved out to it's like the outskirts a little bit, and dropped a little bit of music, and just wham, COVID-19 happened, and just really nixed all the sorts of plans that I had for Summerfest 2020. How has your life sort of unfolded and evolved from that moment, and that we've seen you last 2019 to this moment today? I mean, so much is happening.
I mean, I can definitely give you all a quick like capsule. I'm in the teaching profession, so it was honestly kind of wild, and it might have been wilder for like my colleagues and I because we work next to a hospital, which actually became like one of the sites to take care of COVID patients. So at a really quick pace, school is over, and we're trying to figure out the virtual learning. Um, and like we're on Zoom now, which is beautiful. So I'm really appreciative for this because without that, I really don't know where school would be. School in the future is up in the air, but it really has my mind like what is security? Like I'm really trying to grasp like that fact, right? Like as I create, I had a studio. I'm part of a fellowship through the Greater Boston Arts and City Council. So I'm blessed to have that with 8 other like phenomenal artists doing all amazing things throughout the city of Boston. Um, with that being said, I was able to come across a studio position or spot, acquired that. Then COVID got crazy, and so we actually had to not have the studio anymore. But even that discussion with landlords and possible applications and rents and loans, like really made me think about what's the priority in life, like family, health, right, food, and then I mean I have to create. I've been trying to create at a crazy pace because like in my mind, right, it was school clothes, but not even that, Kobe, and then COVID, and then like George, and then just like, dude, it's been real day. Like I'm crying at like crazy points on and off during the day. Like just the emotion is just crazy in the air, right? So I'm trying to
Right.
funnel into a music project and just art and these videos and be around people and be supportive. But it's wild out here, man.
Yeah, and I think we'll jump into the all the protests and civil unrest in a moment. But I want to touch on another piece of the art. You told me about a documentary that you're working on as a part of this creative entrepreneur and fellowship class. Can you tell me a little bit about how that derived organically, and what exactly is going to be the premise?
So, as I was going through this fellowship, they asked of us to have a final project, and while I'm blessed to have many talents as an artist, when it came down to this final project, I was like, what is the best way for me to actually convey like what I do, who I'm around? So visually, I was like, I should just make a documentary. I'm around some rappers now who just made an awesome CD. I come across such creative people all the time. Like my life is truly blessed in that regard. Uh,
Now,
Graffiti artists.
is that intentional for you, or like or do you think you just kind of like gravitate towards people that just have dope energy, or you know
Uh,
how are you meeting all of these awesome people with this like repertoire of creativity?
So it's definitely like 50-50. Like as you, I have some pretty awesome friends. But honestly, man, like I'm a weirdo, like certified. Like I leave my house late at night with the camera and my tripod and lights, right? And I'll just drive and I'll just walk to like whatever like I feel like. So it's definitely like a vortex type thing. And yeah, like I'm gravitated towards people. You know, I stare at things when I shouldn't sometimes, like not in a bad way, but like I'll talk. like it's definitely an energy thing. And people gravitate towards me, blessedly, and luckily they have good energy. But I'm not gonna lie, man, I meditate for that, pray for that. Like I ask God, higher powers, all that to let me be surrounded by awesome, caring, loving people who want to do dope shit.
That's awesome. And some of the things that that we were talking about off camera, um, and you just touched upon it moments ago, is sort of like an inner monologue
Yep.
that you talk to yourself, and maybe it's inspirational, maybe it's not, maybe it's just a stream of consciousness sort of thing. And how are you sort of taking that and turning that into like an external energy?
So, um, through all these protests and whatnot, right? Like, there've been a couple like nights over the past month in particular where I just can't sleep. Like my schedules have been ravaged. Um, Still had online school, and one day I was just out of it, like just missed the class. And I was like, okay, I can't do this. Fast forward to I was like, I gotta change my life. So I was like, I gotta wake up at sunrise, and then I'm just gonna vent and get that out, right? And then put that towards a project. But also, I know it's energy I have to get out that I can't take into the day. Like to be quite honest, I'm hearing music in the car and driving out and crying at crazy points. Like energy is crazy.
And so are you using like a voice recorder? Are you writing it down?
So I journal and write all the time.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I wake up in the morning. Um, it's kind of cool. I haven't told anybody what I'm about to do yet. It's dope. All right, so I'm wake up at like sunrise. What I do is set the tripod up. I catch the sunrise. I sit in front of my camera, and it is some stream of conscious. Some parts are going to be from a book. And I know now that I have to write like some monologues out because there are a couple of life stories that I want to share that I have to just get out. I've talked to the appropriate people so I can share them now.
Awesome. And so all this was predicated, more or less, like the actual monologues, predicated from the events that we're seeing over the past weeks. But it's not really the past couple of weeks, is it? I mean, it's really our entire lives. And I'm in my mid 30s, and you're a couple of years older than me. I'm not trying to put you on blast or anything, but
That's good. I'll say it. 38, man. 38 and loving it.
but like we've seen some shit, and we've experienced it. And why do you think that this week was sort of a crescendo for that, in terms of having that emotional type of um, you know just that emotional type of reaction where you're saying like, I need to scribe in my journal more than ever, or I need to turn this into some sort of recorded monologues that I can go back and reflect, or even share that with people?
Yeah, So my whole life, like you say, I think has been leading up to this point where I've accepted like I'm pretty vulnerable, but like like vulnerability is life. Sharing is life. That's what connects us, right? But it's crazy, like in the past, during this whole pandemic, how we're not together, right? But we're all like searching for that connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now, without the, I guess, the need for small talk or having much small talk in my last couple of days, I'm like, I never really was one for small talk unless I'm trying to do business or make somebody feel at ease, to be honest with you. But even now, I want somebody, I want the world to know who I am. Like I've gone through like 90 lives at this point, like I know it's not what the average person has done. Like I've tested my soul. I've seen some of the world, not like worldly, but
Mm-hmm.
so like situations and humans and emotions. And we all got hopes and fears, and like
Right.
it's dope to show those. But the minute you can show those, the world opens up, you know?
Yeah,
But
I hear you. And I think this is an especially, uh, I would say, opportune time to be vulnerable and express that vulnerability, especially not only with people that look like us, but people that don't look like us, and having them express vulnerability towards us, because that's how we start to have these dialogues and really open it up and start to peel back that layer and start to figure out how we can have more of a harmonious experience that we call life. And I think that's all we want out of it, right? Like, we don't, nobody wants to go through life just, with hardships and, bullshit. It's like I think we need to get to this point where, everyone is just like kind of, blissed out. And,
I
I
piggyback
feel
on that
like,
real quick.
what's up?
I piggyback on that real quick.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I think so I guess part of my frustration and emotions come because I think for a long time we've all been feeling like it shouldn't be so hard, right? And then now you see where the world's kind of stuck. It's like, okay, what was causing the friction, right? Do we just have eight angry people who are like holding the wheel stuck? And it appears that way sometimes. So it's like, why be quiet about anything, especially if you feel that right about it? But if you know it is right, I can't let any of that sit with me any longer. I can't.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks for, that reflection. I definitely having a hard time with it these past couple of weeks myself. But I like to try to bring some levity to myself and certain situations, because it doesn't make sense like being morose all the time. I think we are focused and we know some of the things that we have to do, and we're going to get it done. I'm going to switch gears and again bring some levity to this conversation, and we're going to play a game, as I played a game with everyone that's appeared on this segment. This game's going to be a little bit different than anything that we've done before. And I explained it to you off camera, but I'll explain it again to everyone at home, or, hopefully you're not watching this in your car. You got to watch the road, fella. This game is called Who Won It? I think everyone pretty much is aware of all of the producer and song and songstress and those type of battles that are happening via Instagram. And you're aware of that, right, Colgan?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And I've seen most of them myself. I have a list of them, and we just want to know who you thought won and why. And at the end, we can, I'll give you a little bonus one, and you know, anyone throughout history, you just pit them together, or I'll pick a couple of people throughout history, pit them together, and we'll just figure out who won it, like as a creative. All right, so we're gonna start with this one I actually watched, and I thought it was very, very good. So we got Jagged Edge versus 112.
So
Difficult one.
It really is, man. I was going back and forth with a couple other people, but I got to give it to 112. I
Okay,
got to give it to 112. And it comes down to variety, man. They got some bangers. Like,
they do.
you can live all seasons and scenarios of life with 112 CDs, right? But if I'm rocking Jagged Edge, I'm pretty much in the house, like singing to my girl the whole time or crying to her.
Right, right.
You know?
Yeah, and I feel the same way. And uh, Jagged Edge is legendary in their own right, but I was just like, to your point, like the variety of the bangers. I was like, ooh, like, oh, all right,
Yo,
all right.
oh my God.
So number two, this one I thought was actually really interesting, and the first time it happened, it didn't pan out the way that I wanted to because Teddy Riley has the AOL internet or something like that. But Babyface versus Teddy Riley, who won it?
Nobody.
I think actually the internet won it because
Nobody. Oh my
uh,
God.
not internet service providers, but I mean like
Oh,
the internet, like
what?
they just
Oh,
lambasted like and lampooned the whole scenario was great for like internet fodder, and for me too. Like I thought it would have been great because Teddy Teddy Teddy's a super producer. He's legendary. He's been around for a while. And mostly everyone knows Babyface for like the same thing that you were sort of equating to Jagged Edge, like the slow like crooning and and he never has a mustache for some reason. But
yo, did you ever have like a smooth back like conk?
I don't know. I don't know if it was like conk-ish or if it was just like the nature of the 80s. Like it was definitely juicy.
Juicy. It definitely
But
was. Like,
anyway, so neither one, and I can agree with that. But who do you think would have won if all things being equal, internet was good, and
oh, I'm with you with Teddy. Like Teddy is just a monster. Dude, anybody who can go back to using the Zapp and Roger, like, tube in the mouth and still get it on the keyboard and still dance, dog. Salute.
that's
Teddy.
crazy. I'm gonna try to perform with the tube in my mouth and see how that goes.
Dog. If you can get that effect and do it, you should. That
Yeah,
effect is just
I think I could get that off. All right. The next one is switching gears a little bit, like a different sort of genre and vibe. Beanie Man versus Bounty Killer.
yo. B. I watched that whole joint and
Nice.
damn, I thought my TV was gonna pop for a second, right? I think I gotta give it to Beanie though. I think I gotta give it to Beanie. And they both live as hell, but Beanie just had that. I don't know. It's a vibe thing. Beanie was coming with it.
Yeah, and it was, and I caught a couple of moments of it, but it was just like I just love the whole energy. It was more like a party than anything. Like it wasn't
Right.
even like these things sort of evolve. It wasn't even like how we traditionally think of rap battles, and it's like one round for me, one round for you, one round for me, one round for you, and we're just like it's aggression. Like this was all love, and it was amazing. I
Yo,
loved
Beanie
it.
Man told the cops to go home. We got almost 1 million folks up here. Don't do that.
That's right. So this one was the one that kicked it off. Number 4, Swiss Beats versus Timbaland.
Yo. All right. So
I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this.
this goes to Timbaland all the way. I didn't think I was going to be so adamant, but while I watched that whole thing, I was looking at Swizz a little different, man. Like,
Really?
yeah, like, so here's where I'll go. 2 totally different styles, right? But
Yep.
it taught me something. So Timbaland, he's definitely an energetic dude. He's going to give you his energy, right? But his sounds, like, he has more global sounds to me, which
Mhm.
come into hip hop.
I know what you're saying. Yep.
Could be wrong, but that's the way I hear it. And then, yo, Swizzy, it's like he infects his soul into a beat with his voice, right? And his energy. but it's more like samples and drums, which is fine. Like you can like your own thing, but sonically, I think I like more like where Timbaland. I like diversity, and it seemed like
Yeah.
Timbaland had more of that.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of lean towards like Swizz winning, but I definitely rock with Tim more. Just like his whole discography, and I think sometimes it's a knock against him that he's so worldly, and like he worked with people in R&B, and like he did some pop stuff, but um, you know, I think it's great. When I was in the club in 2005, I can't lie to you. It was like, this is a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like Timbo all day. All right. The last one that I'm going to bring up was actually my favorite. Actually, I sort of vacillate. And I'll throw the runner up in here.
Great word.
I'm curious to get what your thought was, because this was actually more of a vibe too. Erykah Badu and Jill Scott. I didn't think there was a winner. I thought the internet won. Like I thought the ladies just, they went off, and there were probably like 700,000 people on IG, and it's just like it just speaks to like black women and black excellence just coalescing and doing their thing that day.
Man, you said it essentially. I do think out of all of them, that was the best verses because of, like you said, how they did it. Like, it was competitive, right? Because they're both goddesses, they're both queens, they're both true masters at their craft. But the way they were able to show that extra compassion and love, right? And the timing of it too, like the way they even had like strangers interact on the internet, like that outpouring of love.
Mm-hmm.
It was like this cycle that is beautiful, man. Like, and then when you have people who are that talented and they can still respect each other, like I hope the world can do that, because there's nothing wrong with
it was all love.
Cooperation.
That's what I loved about that. They were like there was adulation on both sides, and it was awesome. It was great. It was great. So that was actually a bonus one. I wasn't even going to throw that one in there, but I think
Thank you.
Again, those queens deserve it. It was amazing. So the last one, this one I think was my favorite, because like it just speaks to the core of like when I was growing up in hip hop, and like they just have immense discographies, and I rock with the Woo, and I rock with DJ Premier. So it was just like, man, I don't know. And I watched the entire thing, just like talking to my wife, like, you got to keep it down. All right, just go in the other room, and I'm like watching on my phone, just glued to it. So RZA versus DJ Premier.
Ooh. Yo, so like you just like your catalog in your mind and your endorphin back, it was dopamine in my brain.
Yeah.
Gotta give it to Premiere though, like
all day. Actually, and I hope RZA never watches this. I'm sorry, RZA. I love you. I love the Woo. I love everything, but I think he kind of cleaned him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of scoring it, and I was like, wow, he won by at least 5, and like even if you want to give him a couple of ties and stuff like that, I just think RZA's selection was a little odd sometimes, and like he left a lot of songs in the tank. Do you feel similarly, or?
Yeah, like if you're a conductor on a train, my man would have rode that joint off the track. Like there was no rhythm whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
And at times I felt like Premier was trying to have that nice little volley. You're totally right. It was like, bro, come back.
But it was great. That was a great day for hip hop. I mean, I was like in my element, and like I even turned the lights down, and it was just it was a vibe that day. It was great. So thank you for participating in that segment. It's called "Who Run It, Who Won It," and to wrap up this interview, I do want to thank you profusely for being on with me. Just rapper, teacher, just life coach, artistic visionary. You're doing so much, and it inspires me, and inspired me to try to do a little bit more, and not to try to be, master of none, but just sort of like expand the breadth of some of the things that, I could be focusing on. Because when you get a little bit too narrow, like, yes, you want to be an expert in your craft, but, I think there are some things that are tangentially related to, like, some of the things that I do in music where I'm like, oh man, I could explore this a little bit, and it would be cool to, try to do a little bit of DIY stuff, and then, bring some friends in later, or bring in some experts to just, help put it over the top a little bit later. And I think you've been instrumental with that. So I want to thank you for being on. I want to wish you the best in terms of your company, all the things that you've been doing with art galleries, your fellowship. You said you have your last class coming up. So I appreciate you being on. So for all the people who don't know where to find you, and, just sort of the catalog of where to find you, and, on social and on the internet, where can they find you?
No doubt, man. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You are very welcome. You do awesome stuff, and I'm down for the cause, man. You know
Appreciate
that.
it.
On Instagram, you can find me at 1981 and Co. 1981 and Co. The letters and the numbers. 1981 A and D C O.
And I'll put it on the bottom of the screen, so you don't have to worry about spelling it.
Hell yeah. On the internet, you can find me at www.1981andco.com. I got some pictures up there, little blog. I'm going to do some more writing for that. But please feel free to hit me up. I would love to collaborate and take your photo, or do some videos, or do an awesome project with you.
Awesome.
Can I mention one more project coming up?
Mm-hmm.
We also got I'm doing some music with a group called Blind Rhino. That's going to be out pretty soon. We're finishing up the album now. Crazy process, but that's life. And for my fellowship, I will have this documentary out probably by September, so be on the lookout for that.
Just really quickly, what kind of music is it with Black Rhino?
Blind Rhino.
Blind Rhino. My bad. I'm sorry.
And it's we're gonna call it alternative rap, groove rap. Man, we always do something a little funky, a little different. It's just, it's real different. It's like some groovy West Coast vibe with some East Coast bars, and then just some out there melodies. We're gonna see what happens.
Awesome. That's great. Can't wait for the documentary. Can't wait for anything that you're gonna be producing. I know once it comes hot off the press, it's gonna be hot. So I appreciate you being on. I appreciate you being honest. I appreciate you being open and vulnerable. And everyone, make sure to check out Colgan Johnson anywhere on the internet. Make sure to book him and interact with him. Great person. And we'll catch you next time on Fest Friends.
Peace.